All right, let's go ahead and automate relationship B. What we want to accomplish is that when we create relationship A, we need relationship B to get created automatically. So what values do we need to send to relationship B? Remember, relationship A is the information that we have at hand. It's available for us to use. And we're going to use that information to create relationship B. When we go ahead and create relationship B, we're going to need to specify the contact. And in this case, the contact is the related contact from relationship A. So relationship A, related contact, contact B, goes into contact in relationship B. On relationship B, the related contact is going to be contact A. It's the one from contact on relationship A. And when we select the role, we're going to select the opposite role, the inverse role. This role is role A, role B. So we're going to need to find role B, role A. And we can find the inverse role on the party role relationship record itself. I'm going to show you all of this in practice in a second. Manually, and then we're going to do it automatically. And then one field that we have not looked at before is the related relationship. It's not called like this, it's called related inverse record. As far as I remember, we're going to look at it in a second. It's basically linking these two relationships together. So after we create relationship B, we're going to populate this related relationship on both of them. On relationship A, we're going to populate it with relationship B, and on relationship B, we're going to populate it with relationship A so that we can link them together. Let's look at this as if we were to create that manually. Let's go to accounts and just go to some person, go to connections, and create a contact-to-contact relationship. I'll select let's look at a different person. All right, let's do Abigail and Janet, active, and let's say just father and let's do parent, child. Let's do a start date and then end date. Well, it doesn't really make much sense, but I mean, it's fine. Right, that's the related inverse record that I was referring to here. That's the related relationship. We're gonna keep it blank for now because we have not created the second contact-to-contact relationship yet. We will populate this after we create it. Let's go ahead and click save. And I'm gonna open the relationship record itself in a new tab, and I'm gonna open the related contact Janet in a new tab. And I'm gonna drag Janet here. Let's keep the relationship to the left side, and then I have Janet here to the right side. On Janet record, let's go to connections again, and let's create a new relationship. So this is what we are doing now, the opposite. You would notice that the contact is now Janet, which is the related contact on the first relationship. So the related contact here should be the contact from the first one, which is Abigail. I'll select Abigail. Active is just going to be the same. The party role relationship should be the opposite of parent-child. And if I actually open this parent-child in a new tab, this is going to be meaningful after we look at the automation. But on the role itself, I can see the related inverse record. On the parent-to-child, I can access the child-parent. When we do it manually, it's fine. We look at parent-child, we can just type child-parent. We have child-parent in here. And then the start date and end date would be the same. Just copy, start date here, end date here. We are just mimicking what the automation will do in a second. And then the related inverse record, because we already have it here, this is the one that was created earlier, so we can populate it in here. and then we can save. Now that we have the second relationship, which is 59, you can copy this and come back here and then populate it in here and then save. With that, we have created the two relationships, and these two relationships are linked to each other. So what we just did, we would like an automation to do. Let me close this and let's go ahead and create that automation. We're going to go to setup, and then we're going to search for flows. And we're going to create a new flow. Select start from scratch, record triggered flow. We'll select the object to be the contact relationship. And we would like this flow to run when a contact relationship is created. I will add one condition in here. We'll select all conditions are met. We'll add only one condition. I'll explain why in a second. That condition is going to be related inverse record is null false. This is read like this. The related inverse record is not null, meaning the related inverse record has a value in it. And that's this field here, related inverse record. I apologize, this is supposed to be true. Meaning when the related inverse record is null true, meaning is null, meaning it's empty. If this field is empty, we need this to run. If it's not empty, we don't want it to run. I'll explain why after we actually build it. So what we need to do is to create a relationship. Remember, this flow is going to run when a relationship gets created, which is relationship A, and we need to create relationship B. So let's say create relationship B. You can name it whatever you want. How to set record field values? We'll select manually. We'll select the object to be contact relationship, and then we will start populating these values as if we were doing it manually. The contact ID is going to be the record. The record here represents the one that has the $ in front of it, represents the relationship that triggered this flow to run. So that relationship A's related contact ID. And the opposite as well. So related contact ID is going to be record contact ID. Let's continue. We've got the start date. It's going to be the first relationship start date. It's the same. The end date is going to be the first relationship end date. The active is it's true, but you know what? I'll just select the first relationship active, so we just remain consistent. The party role relationship ID. Party role relationship ID. Now this one is the inverse record. So if I access the first relationship and I search for party role relation, I've got it in here, but I don't want this one. I want the inverse role. So I'm going to access, if you see the one that has an arrow next to it, we can access the fields of this role, and then I want the inverse record ID. So if this one, if this one represents the party role relationship represents father child, and I need the inverse, then I want child parent. Then this is how I get it. And then the last thing is the related inverse record ID. Because relationship A is already created, we can populate it in here, and that's just the ID. Contact relationship ID. Now that we have created relationship B, we can update relationship A with the new relationship ID. Remember, that's the field that at first it was not populated, so we needed to create the relationship first. Here we created the relationship. Now we can go ahead and update the first relationship A, update trigger and record, update relationship A. We need the related inverse record ID to be that one that we just created. If I search for create, I'll find the contact relationship ID from that create element. And now let's go ahead and save and let's say auto create relationships. I'll add CCR because we will need to repeat this for CCR is for contact relationship. We're gonna need to clone this for account relationships as well. Okay, now I want to step back to the entry that we have in here for a second. Why did we add this condition? Let's say we don't have it for a second. Let's say we just don't have this for a second. This flow, the way it works is that once you create a relationship, it's going to run. And it's going to create another relationship. Meaning when a second relationship gets created, the flow will run again because a relationship got created. And then it will try to create a third relationship, which triggers the flow to run again, causing a domino effect, a feedback loop, things like this. To make it stop after one run, we need to give it some conditions so that it only works if these conditions are met. And the conditions we're adding are related inverse record is null true. That means that if you remember, we are updating relationship A, which is the relationship that started this flow, and we are updating relationship B, and in both of them we are populating this field. So when these relationships get created or updated, they have this field populated, meaning the flow is not going to run again. Let's save this, then activate, and let's go ahead and test. I'll go to Abigail again, and then let's select Leslie. Let's do sibling active, and save. So it has saved. That's Leslie, Abigail. If we go now to Leslie, the expectation is that we see this sibling relationship with Abigail. We've got the sibling relationship automatically created with Abigail. And if you look at this, you will see that it picked up the start date, the end date, the party role relationship, the related inverse record. If you go back to the first relationship, you will see both of them have the related inverse record populated. So this flow is working just fine. Let's go ahead and repeat this for account relationship. And it's almost identical. If you want to attempt this before watching this, feel free to. I'm going to go back to flows again, and I'll create a new flow. Starting from scratch, record triggered flow, account relationship. When it gets created, same condition, related inverse record is null true. Only if this is empty, we need this to run, else we don't want it to. And then we're gonna create relationship B. We'll select manually, and then account relationship. We'll start populating the values. Account is gonna be related account. Related account is going to be record account ID, and then start date, record start date, end date is record end date, is active is record active, and then party role relationship is record party role relation, inverse record ID, and related inverse record is record ID. Now that we have this created, we can go ahead and update the triggering record, update relationship A, and we need to populate the related inverse record to be the one from create. We can go ahead, save, and then auto create relationships for AAR. It's a good practice to add if you add an abbreviation, to add what it means in the description for other admins or anyone else to understand what this flow is doing. And then activate. And this is for accounts. Now let's go ahead to one of the accounts that we have. I'll just search for something. I know that a household is an account. It's not a person account. Let's go to connections and create a new with price green, and then we have to select some account relationship. We can't select contact relationship. So let's pick up financial advisory, client and firm. So this is a client and a firm. Active, start date, end date, save. So that relationship got created here, the advisory client and the advisory firm. If we go to Price Greenberg and connections, we see that Price Greenberg with Lozano, financial advisory firm, and client, it got updated. If we open this relationship, we'll see all the fields got populated. If we go to the first relationship, everything got populated in here. This is how to create it through automations. It's not easy to grasp. It's a ton of data going back and forth. It's fine if you want to just repeat this as per this video. You don't have to fully grasp it, and there is also the flow aspect, which is the automation tool. It's okay that you just repeat this for now, and as you use the system and as you read documentations and as you practice Salesforce, you will get the hang of it.